What if every color in the White Tower wasn't just a choice, but a revelation? Each Ajah in the Wheel of Time has its own mission, its own secrets, and its own philosophies. But beneath the surface, their colors hold deeper meanings, echoes of ancient symbols, psychological truths, and metaphysical power. The colors aren't just fabric. They are identity, they are ideology, and sometimes they're prophecy. Let's uncover what lies beneath the red, green, blue, yellow, white, brown, and gray, the hidden language of the tower itself. The Blue Ajah. Among all the Ajahs of the White Tower, the blue stands out as the most purpose-driven. Its members do not pursue knowledge for its own sake, nor do they align themselves with politics, healing, or battle. They serve causes, justice, righteous intervention, ideals that shift with time, yet remain rooted in the fundamental belief that the world can and should be better. Blue is a color long associated with clarity and calm in the physical world, but symbolically, it is also the color of distance, introspection, and inner turbulence. It represents the ocean, vast, deep, and often silent. It is no coincidence that blues are known for being solitary. Their missions often take them far from the tower, and even farther from one another, each fighting her own unseen war against injustice. This is the Ajah of Moraine de Madrid, one of the most iconic figures in the Wheel of Time. She is not warm, she is not overtly kind, but her sense of purpose burns like steel. Moraine walks alone, not because she prefers solitude, but because solitude is the cost of walking the road less traveled. Her mission to find and guide the Dragon Reborn is not about power or prestige. It's about belief in a cause, even when no one else understands it. That's the truth at the heart of every blue. They live by belief, and belief rarely brings comfort. While other Ajahs find strength in unity and tradition, blues derive theirs from conviction. But that conviction isolates. It makes them appear cold, even arrogant. They rarely have time for politics, for consensus, for waiting. The world needs saving, and the Blue Ajah was never designed to move slowly. And yet, this isolation breeds something rare, a purity of intent. Blues are not easily corrupted. They don't take power lightly. They may be mistaken for manipulators, but more often they are simply ahead of their time, already acting on a truth others have yet to see. In this way, the Blue Ajah becomes the tower's spear of moral intervention, often uninvited and always unstoppable. Their hidden cost, however, is profound loneliness. Their sense of mission defines them, but it also denies them ease. Friendship, softness, and vulnerability must be set aside for the sake of the world they protect, and that makes their strength something bittersweet. The hidden meaning of blue is not just justice or belief. It is the quiet agony of knowing that truth is not always welcome and choosing to fight for it anyway, even if you must do so alone. The Red Ajah. Few Ajahs in the White Tower are as divisive or misunderstood as the Red. Their mission is stark: to seek out men who can channel and ensure they are stopped, gentled, or if necessary, killed. It is a task that inspires fear, resentment, and sometimes awe. But what is often missed is that the Red Ajah is not powered by hatred. It is powered by fear, by memory, by the legacy of the breaking of the world when male channelers, driven mad by the Dark One's taint on Satan, shattered mountains, continents, and kingdoms. The Red Ajah exists because someone must bear that trauma, and they do, every single day. Red is the color of flame, of blood, of fierce passion and raw danger. But it is also the color of the wounded heart. It burns hot, but it also burns from within. Many of the women who choose the red do so not out of bitterness, but because they've witnessed too much pain. Perhaps they lost family to a mad channeler. Perhaps they fear what they themselves might become. Perhaps, like many Aes Sedai, they simply believe someone must do what no one else dares. While the Greens prepare for Tarmangaden, the Reds fight a daily war, quiet, thankless, and relentless. There is no camaraderie in the Red Ajah, as found in the others, no shared cause like in the Blues, no nurturing warmth as with the Yellows. Reds are often isolated even within their own ranks. The mission makes closeness dangerous. Emotional bonds complicate judgment, In a tower where politics is everything, the Reds often stand alone because they cannot afford to trust. And yet, this very isolation becomes their strength. They are immune to flattery, unmoved by sentiment. They act without seeking approval, and their fearlessness is often mistaken for cruelty. What few see is that Red Ajah sisters carry a profound spiritual weight. To destroy madness before it spreads is to witness it constantly. To gentle a man is to see the light leave his eyes. Many Reds break not from rage, but from grief. And those who endure are not hardened, they are scared. The world sees the red as the blade, but rarely sees the wound it leaves behind in the one who wields it. The hidden meaning of red is this: it is the color of duty born from trauma, of fire used not to destroy, but to cauterize. Red is not the flame of destruction. It is the desperate burn of those trying to keep the world from falling apart again. The green Ajah. Of all the Ajahs, the green burns with the fiercest heart. Known as the Battle Ajah, the greens are the warriors of the White Tower, those who stand at the edge of war, sword in one hand, the one power in the other. But this label only scratches the surface. Green is not the color of blood, it is the color of life, of forests blooming after fire, of vines creeping back over ruined walls, of hearts that refuse to yield, even when broken. This is the great contradiction of the green Ajah. They are not obsessed with death. They are devoted to the preservation of life, and they are willing to kill for it. The green Ajah was born in an age when the world teetered on the brink of destruction, when Trollocs flooded the land and the tower stood as one of the few bastions of resistance. Those who joined the Greens did so not because they sought glory, but because they could not stand by while the world burned. That spirit remains. Greens are not mere fighters. They are guardians, chosen not for their power alone, but for their fury. A fury not rooted in rage, but in purpose. They understand the terrible cost of inaction. They know that peace is not preserved by passivity, but by strength wielded in defense of the innocent. Their practice of bonding multiple warders is often misunderstood as indulgent or romantic excess. It is neither. It is strategy. It is solidarity. It is an acknowledgement that war is chaos, and to survive it, one must be prepared on every front. Each warder is not just a weapon, but a trusted shield, a partner in the dance of death. And in bonding many, the green affirms her willingness to walk through the fire again and again, never alone, but never free of the burden she carries. She lives with the weight of her warder's lives on her soul, and she walks proudly with that weight. But the Greens are not only soldiers. They are fierce lovers, fierce mothers, fierce friends. Their power is not clinical, not detached. It is passionate, rooted in the belief that life is sacred and that love, real, burning, human love, is worth any sacrifice. They are not the most politically shrewd Ajah, nor the most restrained, but they are the most alive. They weep when they must kill. They laugh when the war drums fall silent, and they fight not for themselves, but for the people who cannot fight for themselves. The hidden meaning of green is this: it is not the color of violence, but of purpose. It is the fury of the mother bear, the rage of the storm that defends the seed beneath the soil. Green is life so fiercely cherished that it will go to war to be protected. The yellow Ajah. To heal in a world scourged by war, madness, and time is to carry pain that does not belong to you, and take it anyway. The yellow Ajah is revered for its focus on healing, but to think of them only as gentle or nurturing is to miss the steel beneath their grace. Yellow is the color of sunlight, but sunlight can both nourish and scorch. It is the color of hope, but hope must survive in the darkest of places. A yellow sister walks between light and shadow every day, pouring her strength into wounds that refuse to close. And she does it again and again and again. The yellow Ajah is built on faith. Faith that pain is not permanent. Faith that every cut, every break, every scar, physical or emotional, can be tended, soothed, and eventually healed. But this faith is hard-earned. Yellows do not simply wave their hands and banish injury. Their work demands focus, patience, and intimacy with suffering. To be a yellow is to touch pain, to take the burden of another's brokenness into your hands and say, "You will not carry this alone." There is no power more intimate, nor more harrowing. It demands not only technical mastery, but a heart willing to endure secondhand grief over and over. Many yellows break, quietly, not with madness, but with exhaustion. The world does not stop bleeding, and the yellow cannot stop trying. They lose patience, they make choices, who to save, who they cannot. And even their victories can feel hollow. A life saved may still end in despair. A body healed may still carry trauma. And yet, they persist. They choose every day to meet the world's pain head-on and to believe, stubbornly, defiantly, that healing is always worth the cost. Their Ajah rarely seeks power or influence. Most Yellow Sisters remain outside the political games of the Tower. Their ambition lies elsewhere, in silence beside a sickbed, in the steadiness of their hands, in the knowledge that when others destroy, they restore. But make no mistake, the Yellow Ajah is not soft. It is tempered by loss, hardened by sorrow, forged to the fires of 1,000 suffering souls, and still standing. The hidden meaning of yellow is this: light is not passive. It is a force, and when it shines through darkness, it does so at great personal cost. The Yellow Ajah does not merely heal wounds, they choose to carry them. The White Ajah. To join the White Ajah is to choose thought over feeling, truth over comfort. The Sisters of the White Ajah are the philosophers of the White Tower, those who believe in the supremacy of logic, reason, and the abstract patterns that govern reality. They strip away passion to reach clarity. They forsake emotional bias to find what is real. And in doing so, they often walk alone, both in the tower and in the world. For them, truth is not a weapon or a shield. It is a puzzle, a calling, an obsession. White, at first glance, appears to be the absence of all color. But in truth, it is the full spectrum, every color unified into a single blinding hue. This is the paradox of the White Ajah. They are not lacking in passion or complexity, they are made of it. But they channel that complexity into form, analysis, and pattern. While others react, the Whites study. While others feel, they know. In a world built on chaos, wars, prophecy, emotion, and fear, the White Ajah seeks something more enduring, a principle that remains, no matter what happens. But there is a cost to such purity. White Ajah sisters often struggle with empathy. They view emotion as a distraction, a flaw in decision-making. This makes them brilliant thinkers, but sometimes brittle souls. They can become detached from the consequences of their logic. A decision made through perfect reason may still cause harm. And while they see that on paper, they do not always feel it. This distance isolates them. Their clarity becomes a wall that separates them from others, and even from themselves. Yet even in that isolation, the White Ajah plays a vital role. They challenge the Tower to think, to question assumptions, to strip away dogma and see what remains. They ask hard questions. What is justice without mercy? What is the greater good without sacrifice? In doing so, they expose the fragile ethics at the heart of power. And that exposure, that rigor, is necessary, even if it comes at the cost of warmth. The hidden meaning of white is this: truth can be pure, but purity comes with loneliness. The brighter the light, the sharper the shadows it casts. The Brown Ajah. The Brown Ajah is the quiet heartbeat of the White Tower. While others seek power through politics, healing, or war, the Browns turn inward, toward books, scrolls, ancient languages, and forgotten truths. They are archivists of the world, protectors of knowledge so old it no longer has a name. Brown is the color of the earth, unchanging, foundational, and often overlooked. But it is also the color of roots, those unseen veins that nourish the world above. A brown Aes Sedai does not chase glory. She does not lead armies or draft trees. She walks the dusty halls of tower libraries and turns pages few have read in centuries. But do not mistake that for irrelevance. When kingdoms fall, it is the Browns who remember what came before. When new threats rise, it is the Browns who know their true names. They are not warriors, but they arm the warriors. They are not rulers, but they advise the rulers, often from behind layers of ink and silence. Their focus on knowledge is not just academic, it is spiritual. A Brown believes that wisdom is the only power that endures, and so she dedicates her life to the pursuit of it. That pursuit can make her appear distracted, eccentric, even aloof. Many Browns forget meals, misplace time, or seem to exist halfway in another world. But when they truly speak, what they say often changes everything. The Browns are also preservationists. They record what others would rather forget: failures, atrocities, truths that challenge comfort. And in doing so, they ensure that history cannot be rewritten by those in power. In a world that so often forgets its mistakes, the Brown Ajah remembers. And sometimes, remembrance is the only thing standing between peace and catastrophe. The hidden meaning of Brown is this: knowledge is not passive. It is power that waits. And those who protect it shape the future, quietly, patiently, without ever needing to rule. The Gray Ajah. The Gray Ajah is the most understated and perhaps the most essential of all the Ajahs. While greens fight, reds confront, and blues crusade, the grays mediate. They are the diplomats, the arbiters, the voices that find paths where none seem to exist. Gray is not the color of absolutes. It is the color of compromise, of ambiguity, of the space between black and white where most of real life is actually lived. A gray does not seek attention. She does not hunger for glory. Her victories are invisible, peace secured behind closed doors, conflicts prevented before they explode. Grays understand that power without unity is hollow, that even the strongest shield will crack if alliances fail. And so they build bridges, they listen, they persuade, not with force, but with wisdom, not with domination, but with understanding. But to live in the in-between is to carry a heavy burden. Grays are often criticized for lacking conviction, for settling, for being soft. Yet the truth is quite the opposite. To make peace where others see only war requires immense courage. To listen when others scream, to concede when others demand. It is not weakness, it is discipline. And it is the Gray Ajah's greatest strength. They know that every treaty comes with pain, that no agreement satisfies all. But they also know that survival sometimes demands imperfection. That diplomacy is not the art of perfect outcomes, but of preventing worse ones. Their work is not flashy and rarely celebrated, but in their hands, the fate of nations often rests. The hidden meaning of gray is this: the middle path is not indecision. It is strength born from listening, compromise forged in fire. And it is the hardest color to wear, because it requires the wisdom to know when no one wins, and the courage to make peace anyway. Final thoughts. Each Ajah is a choice, not just of work, but a worldview. The colors they wear are more than mere cloth. They are codes, secrets, flags planted in the soul. Each sister chooses not only what she will do, but how she sees the world, and what she's willing to sacrifice for it. The colors of the White Tower are not just 7 options. They are 7 truths, 7 burdens, 7 reflections of what it means to wield power with purpose. And behind each one is a hidden message for those who know how to look.